Welcome to the Pool Nation Podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we are in studio with the Cannonball King himself, Mr. Spider.
Cannonball season now.
There you go. Now we're talking Spider.
We're splashing. We're dashing.
That's right, baby.
Come clean those pools.
Let's go. Hey, today we got a great episode for you guys because we're talking about trust partnership pricing. You can actually plan around and what it looks like when a manufacturer treats pool pros like true partners. We are joined today by none other than Mr. Todd Pieri from AquaStar Pool Products. And yes, they are one of our amazing visionary partners. AquaStar has built their reputation on transparency and consistency, real net pricing with no games, listening to the pool pros in the field, and standing behind their products when it matters most. We're going to get into how they think about partnerships, how they actually brought prices down in 2026.
Let's go.
And why they believe customer experience is king. But before we do that, I want to thank our amazing visionary partners for this podcast, the SPPA, Blu-ray XL, AquaStar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, Hayward Pool Products, Encore Brands, Poolside Tech, Pool Brain, Knee Deck, and Encore Filtration. Thank you so much, guys, for your continued support. Mr. Flawless, what's going on, bro? You're looking pretty sharp today. You're looking young. I think it's the haircut.
It is the haircut, dude. The hair for sure makes me look a little bit younger, and I think you're
not looking like a grandpa.
I'm going to start slowly fading away the grays, right? You know, I'll start dyeing my beard and I'll get a little younger. I'll gain back at least another 5-8 years
What?
or something. No,
that's ill-advised.
no, ill-advised, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mama would kill me. She loves me. She calls me I'm her silver fox. She loves the salt and pepper. And I go, baby, it's a lot more salt than pepper nowadays. It's gonna get pretty bad, but I'm feeling good. I physically feel good today. It's hot as hell the last few days. Those of you that tuned in onto our Instagram live,
his skin does look flawless today, right?
It does.
Right? Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like your skin today, for some reason, like either you had Botox or you got it. Like it really does. It's kind of creepy.
Is there a filter? Is he using a filter?
Are you? It totally looks like a filter.
On, bro. Like
are you using a filter?
No, I'm not using a filter. No. You know what I did though is when I came home today, I swam in my pool and my water's so perfect. Right? It's good on borates. You know what I mean? Yeah, borates, the pipeline filter, you know what I mean? All that.
You know why it is? It's because it's a salt system pool, so it's not a chlorine pool.
Yes, you're right. Its salt system is very easy on the skin. Look, no, I'm feeling really good today, actually. I'm feeling good, but my stomach a little off. And I think it's because the placebo effect or whatever it is. But have you been watching your Instagram feed or am I on a completely different world? But, you know, this whole parasitic disease that's going around.
Oh, I thought he was talking about run your pump.
No, I'm talking first. We're not going there. We're going to get into that later. This is the good morning or the good afternoon or good evening right here. I'm telling you a little bit about me here. All right. Look, we got plenty of time for Todd and AquaStar right after this.
Where do we get through, John?
I need to know if it's just me or not, but I'm starting to get, it's like when I think something or feel something, I believe mind over matter when it comes down to a lot of things. Like I'm not sick, I can get through it, or no, I don't feel pain, I can whatever. Willpower is a very strong thing. But I've been watching this and it's like tripping me out. And I went to get something to eat and I ate. And then all of a sudden my stomach started feeling a little weird. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, here I go, right?
Todd doesn't know what it is.
Am I missing something?
Oh, you're missing something. There's this huge outbreak. Now it's in 37 states. And it's a parasitic, it's called something coli or whatever. But I don't.
So John's
I want-
really busy right now. That's what I'm getting.
well,
Super busy.
yes, very busy. So I stay up to date with the news. But anyways, it is apparently some pretty gnarly stuff that's going around that gives you some I won't use the description
No,
of
you
what
can't
it
do
gives
that.
you.
Yeah.
You can at least say
But
explosive.
if you want to look at it, yeah, something about explosion, right? And I'm not looking forward to that. Anyways, I'm stoked, Todd. I wish I was there, man. But I got my baby Shelby out here, so we put an X on travel for me. But I wish I was there in studio with you guys. This is going to be a pretty neat podcast. I think this is one. It's great to kind of go back to the story and talk about all the things that AquaStar has done, especially for the industry in the last few years, the impact that you guys have made, plus some of the unknown things. And we touched a little bit about it on the Instagram live a couple months ago when it came down to price increases, and not only supporting pool pros when it comes down to being able to, supply or create a product that can help them or, make their lives a little bit easier and their jobs easier and help them be more profitable. But the things that you guys do, or the benefits of having the one-stop shop that you guys have out over in Southern California, where you're able to kind of control everything and not only help them in the backyards, but you're also able to help in the pocketbook. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that, because this is a little bit of a sore subject for a lot of professionals out there. It's like we've been beaten over the head when it comes down to price increases and lack of innovation and stuff like that. So anywho, excited to jump on. Let's get this show on the road.
Mr. Pieri, how are you now that you've been caught up with all this crypto,
Are we gonna,
whatever that's going on in the
bugs
world?
and grandchildren.
It's either that or the weather. So, well, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's a little more interesting.
How it is. So, but no, fired up to be here. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I haven't been back for a while. It's good to see Spider always. So it's great to be in studio. Of course, John, wish you were here, but totally understand where your priorities are right now, and rightfully so. So happy for you guys and excited that Mama gets to spend the time with the grandbaby that she does. So yeah, fired up to be here. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, we're excited to have everybody. Hey, let me come on here really quick, and I'm sure this is Michael. Oh, hey, we've been waiting, is what Michael was saying. Michael, what ended up happening is that, Todd took the wrong exit, and then he turned around and he hit traffic on one side, and I was following him, so I didn't want to not follow him because I didn't want him to get lost, so we were a little bit late, so...
Not one of them believe that.
Not one of them believe that. So, hey, big shout out to Kevin Embry from Pool Brain. Let's go. Lauren Broom is saying, let's see here. Let's go Pool Brain. Let's go Encore Filtration. Kevin is saying, John, your thoughts determine your reality. It is a parasite is what Lara is going. And then they're asking, is poor Todd still there? Cyclosporosis, I think, is what it is. So, and then Lauren gives
There it
you
is.
a big shout out to Mr. Todd Pieri from Lauren Broom. And Lauren is excited waiting for the Women's Summit. Big shout out to Jeff out there, Stater, and Mexia Pool Rebar. Big shout out to all you guys out there. So before we get started really quick, yes, we do have the Women's Summit that's coming around the corner. We do have our big tea that we're going to be spilling, which is going to be kind of right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's going to be big?
I think so.
You
Yeah,
think so?
That one's real exciting. But can we nothing?
John and I have thought about what can we, and it's there's literally nothing that you could tease that other than it's going to be big.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't do it justice because it's you say it's going to be big and everybody's yeah, I think everybody says everything's going to be big. So,
Right. Yeah.
Hey, but it is Texas and everything in Texas is bigger, John.
That's for sure.
That's for
It's
sure.
definitely bigger.
It's definitely bigger.
Yeah.
And it's definitely big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is definitely big, yes. So, anyways, from there we go over to the Women's Summit, which is going to be the 20th and 21st. The nominations are open right now, so get out there, nominate your favorite pool pros, your favorite products, right? Your favorite trainers, pool guy, pool girl. Nominate everybody out there, and that's going to be the 19th of August over in Dallas. And actually, by that point, we'll, be able to talk about the other stuff that we're going to be able to talk about. So it'll be happening by then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
So-
sure.
So we're really excited about that. And then from there, we head to the PSP Expo, believe it or not.
Wild.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
John, Pool Nation Awards. It's crazy.
It'll be here like this.
Yep, in a flash.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's get started. And Todd, we were talking about this a little bit ago, and obviously we know you very well. We have a relationship and all that kind of stuff. But I think we're going to have some listeners that see you for the first time.
Yeah.
Obviously don't know who AquaStar is. So, for those that are brand new, tell us a little bit about AquaStar.
Yeah, privately held company out of Ventura, California. Napkin concept to finish. We do everything in-house. So the owner, Olaf, was a toolmaker by trade, also went to school for engineering and did a lot of injection molding tool making before inking AquaStar in 2003. And when he did, he was looking for a niche market in this industry, or not industry, but in this country, to develop and manufacture products made in the USA. And he inked it in 2003. We were the leader on VGB drain covers when VGB-A hit in 2009. And that was our hula hoop moment. And being the crazy man that Olaf is, he wants to go big. And so all the money that he made during that time put right back into the company. And he wants to be one of the big players. We want to be the brand. And so we've grown exponentially since then. We were looking at a chart today on our website of Mandy's sales team, our vice president of sales. And boy, is it growing fast. So really fun company. Again, we do everything in-house. We control it. Lots of feedback from the industry in our products and everything that we do. And yeah, looking to become that Pros Pro brand even more.
It was kind of exciting to see that page when you showed me that page because, 3 years ago, 4 years ago when we started talking, it's how many people did you have? You had Mandy. Who else?
Yeah, Mandy, Omar, Jason.
I don't think Omar was there. Omar wasn't there.
Omar wasn't there.
Oh, when we started,
Jason wasn't there.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys when we first, one of the first podcasts that you had,
Jason was with us.
Oh, Jason was with you. You're right. Because he drove up one of the pipeline filters. You're right. So Jason was there.
Mandy, Jason. And then short after that is when Jamie came on, right?
Yep.
For a short stint that she was there for, I don't know, about a year or so.
Yeah.
And then after that, it kind of exploded.
Yeah.
But she was marketing.
Yeah.
And then
Brand.
all the salespeoples are all the ones that you have. So,
Yeah.
John, it was kind of cool to see the page. It was literally 2 pages.
Yeah, we had to scroll.
Yeah.
So we
We've never had to scroll before.
It's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. And look, and I know you talk, it's fun to see you guys have been around for a while and you talk about the drains and all the products that you guys have created for the industry for so many years. And for the most part, as pool pros, or at least the service guys and gals out there, it was kind of unnoticed because most of your products, right, wasn't really bam, right on the pad or right there in your face. Right. Not many looked at the manufacturer of the drain cover that was down there 6 feet or 8 feet down in the water. Nobody really looked inside the skimmer to see the skimmer and who made and manufactured the skimmer, especially as a service company. But you guys played a big role in the functionality of a pool and, more importantly, the safety of a pool for a very long time. And slowly but surely, I mean, you guys have always been a big player in your niche, right? But over the past few years, you guys have really hit the floor running when it comes down to the new products that you guys have introduced. And of course, near and dear to my heart is the pipeline filter. And when you guys hit the market with that, you definitely hit it with a bang. And since then, you've come out with the pipeline pump. You've also done the ozone system. You got a lot of other things in the works. You have a variable speed blower that's come in, and slowly but surely you can see the trend. Everything that you guys do, you take your time to do it, but when you do it right. So we're excited to see new stuff coming out. The one thing that I wanted to let our people know, I mean, it's easy to say, hey, look, we do things differently, right? And it's like the same thing when you're going out and talking to a customer and you're explaining our values or our operation compared to the status quo normal service companies do, because like we consider ourselves a little bit different, and we have to explain it because most people don't truly understand it. So when you say you guys do things differently, what do you actually mean by that? And how does that look like on a day-to-day basis so that the community and the pool pros know how you guys vary from other manufacturers?
For us, it's a pretty simple philosophy. We want to provide solutions for the professionals where they get the best customer experience possible with our products. We want to be very consistent. We want to be very transparent. And we also want to make the customer experience for your customers, the end user, enjoyable as well. And that means making efficient products, making, if it's drain covers, less invasive, easy to install for the professionals. And it really is that simple of thought process. Now to thread the needle to develop products that you, the professionals, have a good experience with, and then also the homeowner has a good experience with, is not as easily done. But we, at our core, we believe that if our homeowners have good experiences, we build more pools. It's really simple, right? And so if we can build products that help you service them better and give them a hydraulically better performing pad, which is going to cost them less, and it's going to keep their pool clean, we've won.
Let me ask you, because I think, and you guys are really big with regards to, partnering with the pool pros, and you guys do a lot of focus. You guys spend a lot of money on education. You guys spend a lot of money helping the pool pros kind of to get out in the field. And I think the word partnership kind of gets thrown around in our industry a lot, right? Everybody's like, oh, we want to partner and we're partners and we're this and we're that. And so for you guys, what does that real partnership mean to you guys? And I'm talking beyond sponsorships and shows and all that kind of stuff, but what does that really mean for you guys?
Yeah, it's funny because I don't consider the sponsorships and the shows a part of what we consider a partnership. I think partnership to me means consistency. I think we need to be, as manufacturers, we need to be consistent for the professionals. That's a number of things, whether it's warranty, whether it's pricing, and whether it's continuing to innovate products. There's so many things that go into that partnership. I started in this industry on the distribution side, so I kind of got to see how manufacturers treated distribution, how they treated the pool professionals. So I paid attention and brought the philosophies that I saw, brought the good, and tried to eliminate the bad relative to what I experienced when I was in distribution to manufacturing. And I think now more than ever, consistency is the absolute most important thing with a partnership, because partnerships need to have trust. And it's really hard to have trust when you don't have consistency.
One of our frustrations, and, as professionals out in the field, everybody's a critic first and foremost. And, there's no product that's absolutely perfect. But there are some things that certain products have, or certain things that we work with over the years, that make absolute zero sense. And it feels like when you try to reach out to a manufacturer or to a representative, it falls like on deaf ears, and things don't ever get done or don't get fixed. And where that lack of communication is, or that breakdown is, because sometimes with some of the bigger corps, there's a lot of middlemen and women and filters before it gets to the people that actually make the decision to do that. You have always preached, and I know this from experience, and we've talked about this in the past, that some of your best innovations have come from conversations that you've had in the field with pros, instead of from, obviously engineers need to be involved, and you guys have amazing people that work for you, but not all products and innovation come from a boardroom, right? Some of your best products have come from talking to the people at the ground level, whether it's a builder or a service professional. Can you give some examples of a product or products that started from a conversation with the pool pros, complaint or idea?
Yeah, I think back in the early stages of AquaStar, when we were dealing with applicators quite a bit, and we started to understand the connection points in pools, whether it's a skimmer, whether it's a return or a drain cover, that there were issues, right? And especially in the bottoms of pools, and then on the walls where applications, apps, plaster sags, lots of leaking points, lots of issues. And at the bottom of the pool, water's heavy, right? So you're going to have issues if you don't have proper connection points on your white goods. And I know for some out there, this is a little boring for them, but it is where we started and where we learned that, man, there's a lot of stuff happening in this industry that's not being addressed, that pool professionals are screaming about. And one of our best main drains, our channel drain, I was sitting with an applicator in the Houston market, and he gunnites and applicates a number of pools a year. And I brought a channel drain out with a new water stop on it. And he was like, it's a beautiful piece. I love it. But have you thought about this? And he pitched the water stop a different way. And he turned the bucket over and he asked for the bucket to be textured, right? Simple stuff,
Yeah.
but such a big deal for him because the way we had the water stop before, it could potentially create a void under the underlip. And when you put that in the bottom of 10 feet of water, you're going to have issues because water is heavy. I took the ideas back and walked into our engineers and said, what do we think about this? They said, no problem. I was back in his office in 8 weeks with exactly what he asked for. And he was blown away. Right. So that was a big one. Our A10, I tell the story about our A10, our universal 10-inch drain cover quite a bit, where we touted it as the one size fits all drain cover. And lo and behold, the first customer that had gotten its hands tried to retrofit a certain drain that was 9 7/8 inches, and we didn't have a screw hole for it. And I ran I was in California at the time. I picked that drain cover up at distribution, ran straight to our plant. I was in sales at the time, and we lined it up, and sure enough, didn't fit. Pulled the tool, cut new screw holes in that thing, and in 48 hours, the customer had new drain covers on his doorstep, new retro plates.
Wow.
And he was blown away. So that kind of feedback, when we get asked for something, it makes sense, and then we come to the field, and then we bring it out, and the reception that it gets, and then the feedback of all the pain points that we fixed. Somebody came to us a while back and asked for a water stop on a skimmer face. Yeah, no brainer. Like, how does no one think of this? Water stop on a skimmer face, that's where the majority of the leaking happens in a pool. So yeah, when you talk about influence from the field, from those early days, we got a lot of really good feedback. And then when we moved into the equipment, it was the same thing. What do you want? Right? We need easier access. We need safer filters. We need better filtration. We need better hydraulics. We need a better footprint. Just so many things that the service professional was asking for that we were able to address when we started to look into it.
Hey guys, before we continue here, I want to come back over here really quick. Mr. Steve Barnes is saying, nice try, Edgar, because I was trying to throw Todd under the bus. So he's kind of calling me out here.
He's smarter than the average bear.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve, for calling me out in front of everybody. Lauren is saying, can't wait when you spill the tea. Can we call it tea? We got to figure out what it is. It's not tea. It's like bigger than tea. So we'll talk about
Avalanche.
Yep. So
open the dam.
Yeah, open the dam. Hey, everybody. She's telling everybody to get out there and nominate David Jones, best team in the industry. And Patrick Dimming is saying, happy to see AquaStar doing well. Shout out to Todd out there. And then I don't want to forget about our friends over here on Instagram. Really quick, Michaela, big shout out to you out there. Joe, I'm glad that you are coming out to the Women's Summit. Looking forward to seeing you out there. Wayne, big shout out. Brian Croissant is out. And of course, I was saying, Brian, why aren't you here? And then Mandy is telling me that he's doing a show for me out in Key West. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so hard to be you right now.
You.
Poor Brian. Poor Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Yep, happy birthday. So, hey, big shout out to Mandy Snow. Big shout out to Fabrizio Pulsico. What's going on? Big shout out to you, Thomas. Big shout out, Bella, Wayne, and Dylan Brooks Primary. Big shout out to all you guys. I want to shift a little bit of the conversation right now. And John, should we talk about the P word that we were going to talk about?
It's always like voodoo. No, I think we need to, right? And we need to talk about it. We have to talk about it, right? And we got to talk about the good, the bad, and what we can make of it. You
should see Todd's eyes. He's like, what? He's looking at me like, what's the P word? What are you guys going to talk about? So let me ask you this. Let's talk about it. And we've been dancing around this for a while, but let's talk a little bit about pricing. And that's the P word. And so we're going to throw you a little bit of curve. And so obviously it's something that every pool pro deals with. I think there's a lot of frustration out there in the industry right now with regards to the pricing and the constant price increases. And I'll say what I've said before is obviously we're dealing with a lot of publicly traded companies. And the thing is, to Wall Street, they have to show a profit every single month. If they don't, their shares can take a huge loss. And that's not something that we want to happen, right? Obviously, as pool pros, it's not something that we want to hear, right? That those companies are making all that money quarter after quarter. And then we're getting those price increases, over here on our end. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a little bit of an end to what's going on based on how everything is going. So I want to talk about pricing, but I want to talk about your pricing, nobody else's pricing, right? And I want to talk a little bit about your philosophy and how do you guys at AquaStar think about the pricing and what, especially with what's going on?
Yeah, I don't have Brian and Ryan here as my muscles when I walk out this door. So no, our philosophy is really simple. Just as we hit on in the beginning, we want to be very transparent and we want to be very consistent. So one price increase a year for AquaStar. We do it at the beginning of the year. You can steadfast with that we're going to continue to stick with that as long as I'm around, and I plan on being around for quite a while. It's so important because there's so much that goes into throwing bids out relative to replacing pumps, replacing filters. And when you throw that bid out, we want you to know that if you're using AquaStar, you're not going to get a surprise price increase in the middle of March or the middle of June. And I think that's so important for, again, the consistency of that partnership, but so important for our industry. Because I do think it makes our industry look bad when you as a service professional have to walk back to your client and go, hey, I know I quoted you on this pump to put in, but that was a month ago and there was a price increase. So now I got to, and it's not good for our industry and it's not good all the way through. So we will continue with one price increase a year and continue that consistency. And I don't know if we can talk about some of the prices we decreased. We want to go there?
I think we need to talk about that because that was huge, and we did have that as a follow-up question.
Okay. No, we do. But before we do that, and you talk about you keep saying one price increase, right? And I think that's normal, and that's what's always been expected. And as a service company, that's what we do as well, right? Every year things get a little bit more expensive, cost of living. That dollar that I made last year doesn't go as far as the dollar this year. And if we don't offset that, then we're essentially giving a discount. We need to be able to offset that. You framed uncertainty as being a frustration point in the industry, right? When it comes down to increases. So why do you think so many manufacturers are still running multiple increases per cycle if everyone obviously doesn't like them? And I know it's not about what you like and what you don't like, but as a manufacturer yourself and as a business yourself, you're faced in the same position as all these other companies are, but yet AquaStar chooses to stick to that one price increase per year. Why do you think others are continuing to do these multiple increases per year?
Oof, I'm gonna stay away from what the others are doing, but I think as manufacturers, we have a responsibility to our industry to figure out our business model to continue to give consistent pricing. And you can do that through a number of avenues. And sheer operations in production is a way to keep consistent pricing. And again, I don't want to comment on what the others are doing relative to why they're doing what they're doing. I have philosophies behind it. They're educated speculation, but yeah, go ahead.
I think one of my biggest concerns with all these price increases and stuff like that is, as an industry, and every industry has different market segments, right? And one of my biggest concerns and one of the things that ticks me a little bit is you have homeowners that want to build a pool. And so the challenge is you do have people that can only afford what we call the square, the bean pool in the backyard, which is just the pool, no spa. It's just concrete backyard. The cookie cutter, that's all they can afford. And so where I start to see the danger is with this constant price increases is we're getting that small market segment, which we know now is not a $30 pool anymore. That's a $60,000, $70,000 pool now. And what happens is if we continue at this pace, that pad is going to cost so much that what you're doing is you're taking that market segment and you're kind of getting rid of it.
Yep.
And so now what's happening is the pools long-term, and if we look as an industry long-term, right, we do damage to that market segment that can come in. And now we've really kind of turned our industry into a luxury market that not everybody can afford. And then what happens is, look, the faucet long-term for the industry, that faucet turns down.
Yep. Yeah. You're beginning to eliminate big segments. And
Yeah, it is a luxury, right? This isn't a necessity. So people aren't going to absolutely get a fifth job so they can afford to put this pool in the backyard, or to do this or do that or have the latest and greatest technology. It's a luxury. And there's a segment of the population that can afford it. And as it gets more out of reach, there's less and less people and less pools that are going to be put in the ground, which means less equipment, less work for service professionals, less work for builders. People will go out of business. I mean, it's inevitable. And I'm not saying that other manufacturers or other companies, who knows what it is. I'm seriously asking this question because I want to know, is it, we see that we have an overall increase of 8%. We don't want to shoot out 8% initially. So maybe we'll just do 4% at the beginning of the year and then maybe do another 4%, 6 months from now. And then there it is, instead of ripping off the Band-Aid at the very beginning. I don't know what the reason, and the reason why I'm asking is just so we can have like a conversation on this and try to figure out. We're noticing this, and I'll put it at this. And I'm going to say what everybody's been thinking, or at least what I've been thinking. And this has been going on for the last 7 years. Has it been that long since COVID? I think it has, right? It's been a long time since COVID, but many, many years. And, price increases were always a part of our industry and any other industry, no matter what you do. Netflix goes up, right? Your groceries goes up, gas slowly goes up, things happen.
Coffee.
We talked about it a little bit, coffee, right? Coffee, like doubles. It's a part of life. We get it. And it's unavoidable. And, cost of living, inflation, usually is the primary driver of that. And we understood it as businessmen and women. And we preached it from the very beginning, saying, hey, look, the shit doesn't roll downhill and stop at you, right? When these price increases come down as a business, you need to be able to take that into consideration and price it into it and start doing price increases and doing stuff like that. And we had that battle at the very beginning of Pool Nation with all our, all the people in our community. And I think we finally turned that corner where people understood that, hey, look, this was just a part of business. You can't get mad at the manufacturers for doing this type of stuff. If this is what it costs, you need to be able to pass that on to the end client. And, we got there. And then all of a sudden we get hit with COVID, and it was unprecedented. And we've never experienced anything like that, or at least I haven't. And it was unprecedented times, and it called for some extreme measures. And it was the Wild West. We had no idea what was going on. And it was understandable after everything kind of came to light, and we knew about like transportation issues, right? We knew about labor costs. The labor market was just bonkers at that time. Material costs, everything just kind of blew up. And in order to be able to produce these products and to do them, there had to be these increases. And there were some events that happened, fires and stuff like that, that compounded on all this stuff. And we saw these huge increases in prices, sometimes 50, 100% on some products, some even more. We always looked at it, and I get it that eventually when all the dust settles, things would fall back a little bit, right? And prices would come back. But you and I both know that they never come back to where they were before. They pulled back a little bit, but a far cry from where they were. Why do you think that? Is it because, and again, Todd, if obviously I know I don't want to get involved in this.
I know where you're going here. I'll answer the question on how we operate, and I think you can probably read between the lines.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So again, the consistency and the responsibility that we take on as a manufacturer is controlling our operations, controlling those expenses, and investing in optimizing our production. And if you can do that, if you can control your expenses and optimize your production and continue to put money to your bottom line, you don't need to do multiple price increases a year.
And you guys have actually lowered prices.
Yeah. So we started on a program about 3 years ago. We pinpointed 15 plus items, white goods that were very common in our industry. And we set out on a cavitation program where we were able to manufacture more parts at one time. That's what cavitation is in tooling and molding. Manufacture more parts in one shot than we were doing before. And that's a way to bring costs down. And we were able to do that in a way where we were able to share that with the industry. So again, we do one price increase a year. We did it the first of the year this year. And since then, we've actually decreased 17 items in our catalog. We've decreased prices. And I'm not talking 2 and 3%. I'm talking significant percentages. Some of them were double digits. And that was, again, a responsibility that we take very serious about investing in our production to give the pool professional, what they need and what they're used to, and at a great price.
No. And it's, and you talk about it in your production and stuff like that. We were talking about it, and I think it's hard to understand. I think we talked about it. It's very hard. Like, there's no words that you can say for people to just, if you verbally say it, to understand what it takes to make a product, right? And the concept from napkin to actually creating the product, right? And we've had the fortune of going out and seeing, what that takes. And your operation is not a small operation, right? But I think there's great responsibility in looking at what you guys are doing with your pricing and saying, we're here to support the Pool Pro. Here's where our pricing is going to stay. But then to go a step further and look at it and kind of go, where can we decrease prices? That's just something that is just unheard of in this industry. And I think unheard of in a lot of different industries. Jared is out here going, Edgar, you just said the quiet part out loud. Are we pricing our industry into a smaller end user bucket? I don't think we're doing it on purpose, right? I think with what everybody's doing, we all know that concrete went up and rebar and plastic and all that just went up. It went up, right? And I think when you start to add everything else to it, right? The labor and now the equipment and those constant price increases and stuff like that. I think, unfortunately, if we keep as an industry at that pace, that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about this 10 years from now. And I'm going to come back and say, Todd, remember when we were on this podcast 10 years ago when we priced out? And the ones that are going to suffer, are going to be the pool builders.
Yes.
Right?
The pros, too.
Yeah.
We don't have these new pools to build.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have a choice.
We do have a choice.
We have a choice. And do you want to keep supporting the manufacturers that keep doing this to you? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to support the manufacturers that are continuing to create a consistent path for you? We have a choice.
Yeah, but first step is we need to talk about it, right? Yeah. And I think that's why this is real important. And kudos to you guys for having, going out there and saying, hey, not only are we do it this way, but we've also brought the prices down for you guys, right? I haven't heard that from anybody else. And if there might be some products out there that there's price decreases. And if there are, my bad. But if that's the case, then you should be shouting on the rooftops too as well, letting people know that, hey, look, not only we do increases, but we also do decreases, but I'm pretty sure there aren't, I'll leave it at this because I know we got a lot to talk about and I know this is really important, but I'm going to kind of throw my theory out there. And what kind of frustrates me over the years, COVID is we saw just an explosion of growth. And I really hope that this isn't part of the reason why this is happening to us in the industry, that just like any other corporation that has to answer to stockholders, right? And every company wants to see year over year comps, right? And they want to see growth. But what we experienced during that time, during COVID, was like I said, unprecedented. And it was a blip on the radar, right? And did we get too excited with how well we did at that moment, right? And how much money we did that we just can't let that go? Did we say, hey, look, they gave an inch, we took a yard? They were okay with, we used to do one price increase a year. Now we're doing 2, 3, 4 price increases and they were okay with it and they didn't say anything. Okay, so we're going to continue down this road. I just say, hey, look, for anybody out there listening, we all have voices and we need to make this heard. And, some of the things that are going on right now and that continue to go on, I think they should at least, at minimum, there should be a conversation about it, right? So that we can do what's right and what's best. And Edgar, you nailed it when you talked about what you said. This is our industry. We love it. And we're going to be a part of this for decades, right? My family is in this. They're going to be a part of this. And some of the little decisions or the decisions that we make now or the decisions we made yesterday might seem a little insignificant in real time. but these things compound, right? And they do have long lasting effects down the road. And what will it do? And what can it do? You know, and are we putting ourselves in a position to where we start making our little industry even more of a niche industry that's only going to be available for the super wealthy or wealthy people? Everybody should have a friggin' swimming pool in the backyard.
Your buying power is your biggest voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is.
I did get a text from somebody, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I did get a personal text, and oh, I so want to comment. Got to keep the shareholders happy, but I'll be good. I'm going to keep it to myself. So
yeah, I mean,
you got to react.
I get it.
You have to react as a manufacturer. You have a responsibility to react to trends.
Yeah.
And if we built 100,000 pools during COVID and we're building 50,000 pools now, you got to react. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you're doing the industry a disservice, and you have to continue to raise prices.
That tough spot.
There we go.
You know,
there it goes. It came out.
You have a line that you say that I really like, and that is that the easiest way to lose trust in this industry is to make your customers feel like they paid too much yesterday. Can you talk about that? Maybe unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, easy to unpack that one. Price increases, big price increase, and then a week later come out with some new rebate program or a promo. And in my eyes, it is the easiest way to lose that trust, because you get a 10% price increase, you go buy a pump, and then a week later they come out with some promo for that pump. Damn, that doesn't feel real good. I just lost 30%, whatever that promo is on that pump. So we pump these prices up, and then we talk about perceived discounts quite a bit. And then we give perceived discounts on the back end. And they don't, that price increase doesn't always coincide with what that rebate looks like or what that promo is going to look like. So yeah, I think we're going to get into the net side of what we're doing, but I think the industry, like John said, we have to have this conversation, but I think the industry is starting to wake up to this very quickly.
Hey, guys, let's do this. Hey, before we go on, we're going to take a quick break. Before we go on break, they are pricing themselves out of the market and opening the industry to smaller manufacturers. That definitely could be, another thing that, definitely happens out there. So, hey, big shout out to Christina, Get Fit Julio. Julio, big shout out, brother, out there. Quick Shot Pools, Lockhart, EDU, big shout out to you out there. Maverick Pools, what's going on, brother? Edgar, hey, look, there's another Edgar out here, John. I thought I was the only one. Edgar Gutierrez, big shout out to you out there. Blueview Pools, what's happening? Clear Wave, Elite Escapes, Landscapes, big shout out to you as well. Guys, let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we are going to get into the net conversation. We'll be right back.
Hey Pool Pros, you're already at the pool. You're already trusted by the homeowner. So why are you leaving pool deck renovation money on the table? Cool for Pools is a roll-on pool deck coating that reduces surface temps by up to 38%, passes ADA slip resistance standards, and installs in under 3 days. No specialized labor, no tear out. Just clean it, coat it, and seal it. A 1,600 square foot job requires $2,500 in materials and bills at $12,800. That's over $10,000 in pre-labor profit. Add it to your next estimate. Ask your local Heritage or SCP locations about Cool today. Visit encorecoatings.com or call 888-776-2242. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. U.S. Motors Neptune Variable Speed Motor provides a versatile replacement solution for all your pool pump motor needs. This motor can communicate with pool control systems, provide low voltage options to work with time clocks, and can be installed as a standalone pump motor. The Neptune motor can be easily installed on existing pumps, upgrading them to a variable speed pump without the need for replumbing. Enjoy energy savings and quiet operation by installing a Neptune Variable Speed Motor today. For more information and to find your local distributor, visit usmotors.com/pool. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Meet the pipeline pump from AquaStar Pool Products, the next generation of variable speed pumps designed for serious efficiency. At its core is a high-performance permanent magnet motor that's totally enclosed and fan-cooled, delivering consistent energy-saving operation. Paired with AquaStar's patented high-efficiency volute design, the pipeline pump maintains optimal flow while cutting down on energy use. And it's not just efficient, it's incredibly quiet. Thanks to a high-tech rubber motor mount that absorbs vibrations and dampens sound, the pipeline runs smooth and quiet by limiting turbulence. Its 2.5-inch internal frame ensures unrestricted water flow, and it's available in both 1.5 HP and 3.0 HP models, each with 2-inch and 2.5-inch union fittings for flexible and efficient installation. Experience the pipeline difference: incredibly quiet operation, peak efficiency, and proven performance. Ask your supplier for the pipeline pump from AquaStar. Available now. Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation with Mr. JJ Flawless. I do think he has a filter on because he moved and half of his face was not that smooth. Look, I'm not kidding, Todd. Look at the screen. Tell me that his left face does not look sharper than his right.
Yeah.
Tell me, yeah or no?
Yeah, maybe. I'm waiting to see like heart emojis pop up around him.
I thought Todd was not going to answer, John. I thought he was going to be like, leave me out of this, bro. I want no part of this. And he looked and he went, yep.
John looks good.
What is that? I can't see. None.
None. It's just pure beauty, baby.
Pure beauty, baby. You know what?
I told you, I feel good.
You know what it is, John?
You know what it is? It's because I've been away from you for like a month. Is what it's been.
Recharged.
There it is. It's recharged. You need to come and hang out with me again, bro.
Yeah.
You know what it is he came out last time and he stayed at my house and I think his soul was sucked out of his body.
No, I did good there. I did good. I wasn't too bad, right? Look, I'm a little high maintenance because I have my way. Look, I'm a grown-ass man, and I have a certain way I like things, and I don't compromise. I'm lucky enough I'm in a position where I don't need to compromise, right? You know, I work hard, and I do what I need to do, and I like things a certain way. I got to give much love to you and Leanne. You went way over the top to try to accommodate me. You made me feel like I was like the biggest baby or something like that, that I was that high maintenance and that I needed. You were going to go buy an air conditioning unit for me. You were going to go do this and that. I'm like, bro,
well, look,
I'll survive.
Here's the thing.
I'll survive.
But that was different because my daughter likes to sleep a little warm upstairs, right?
Yeah.
And the extra guest bedroom is upstairs. And John is like me. Like if we could sleep at 60 degrees, that's the perfect point,
Yes.
right? And so downstairs, we have 2 units. So the downstairs I control. So I drop that bad boy, turn on the ceiling fan. So I was worried that John was going to kind of get hot. Because if he's like me, like I can't sleep in heat, like, and I'll be, so I had him set up. And how many fans did I have in your room? 3
like
fans?
15 fans. Dude, it was like a vortex or like a hurricane in there. It was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful.
We had a fan on the dresser. We had a big pedestal fan. We had the ceiling fan going. And it was like,
it was perfect.
But he did ask for the nightlight. He did have one request, and he did say, "Can you make sure I have a nightlight?" So, so I got him a little nightlight, right, John?
Yeah, and you don't forget about tucking me in at night.
And then John came over.
In the bedtime story.
John came over and said, I know what I want, and that's the cheap, stupid nightlight that you bought. He brought his own with the little one that does the stars on the ceiling and kind of glows up to the top. I'm like, so then I'm like, I want one
Listen
of those.
to this guy, Todd. What the hell, man? Look what I have to deal with all the time.
So I had to buy one. So John, now I have one in my room at night with the little glowing, so let's buy one for Todd and ship it to his house.
You just, look, I embrace it. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. I embrace it. I'm all right with that.
You like what you like.
I like what I like.
That's the beauty of it. Hey, John, I know that you wanted to jump in and talk a little bit about the net with Todd, so I'm going to let you take over.
Oh, we need to get back to the podcast and my funky quirks?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry. Todd's like, dude, I was serious when I said we have so much time, right? You know what I mean?
I do have a flight tonight.
I know. I will get you out on time, I promise. But no, I think this is important too. This is another topic that I don't think people truly understand or could use a little bit of clarification. But you call yourself a net manufacturer. I want you to spell that out to the listeners to what that actually means for what they pay when it comes down to, their everyday life and them working in the industry.
Yeah, we made a conscious decision quite a while back to come to the industry as a net provider, net manufacturer. And that just falls right in line with the consistency, with that partnership that we want to achieve for the pool professionals. And the net is basically what you get out of distribution, our product is, and we don't inflate our prices to give you perceived rebates at the end of the year. We don't inflate prices to give you promotions during the year. And we want to get you your products for your clients at the best price possible to keep your business moving, keep your business alive, and keep your business consistent. We feel very strongly about that. If you think about it this way, if you get a rebate from a manufacturer, you are essentially paying for that rebate up front. And it costs money to process rebates. It costs money to get the analytics for rebates. And all of this gets thrown into the price of the product, right? And there's a number of other different things that we'll talk about moving forward here on a couple of different topics as well that get thrown into the pricing of products. So we wanted to be super transparent. We know that there are programs out there for builders that build hundreds of pools a year and programs out there for service companies that have hundreds and hundreds of pools a year. And then a lot of the one poolers don't have programs. Well, guess what you're paying for? You're paying for all those other programs in the price of your product. So for everyone else's rebate. So we just looked at it and felt like it didn't make sense. And I could be way off base. I don't believe I am, but they're essentially with their rebate programs buying annuities.
No. Look, I'm going to take it a step further here, and I'm going to give a little news flash. The pool industry is not the only industry that does this. I came from consumer electronics, right? And I'll tell you this, when you ever go buy a television or you go buy a computer or you go buy something back in the day and there's a mail-in rebate on there, there's a reason why there is a mail-in rebate on there. And the statistics were this, that over 75% of the people, even though there was, because at the end of the day, something's $1,000, a $300 rebate on it, you think you're paying $700, but what you have to go through in order to be able to get that, they are literally banking on the fact that you don't submit in time, that you make an error when you submit, that your rebate gets lost in the whatever it may be. And at the end of the year, they only pay out less than 30% of those rebates. That's why they do a mail-in rebate. If they were going to give it to you, why not just give it to you instantly, right? And if it's going to be instantly, then why not just if that's what you can do, just keep that price at that. So it's just what corporations and what companies do, and every industry, and the pool industry is not in a silo when it comes down to it. So,
And I understand the consumer rebate side. That doesn't necessarily bother me. But when we look at the partnership between manufacturer, distribution, and professional, it's B2B to B, right? So we should all play nice and be partners, and that we're not jacking prices up and then giving you something back at the end of the year. This is a business for us. We should own growing this industry. I get tired of listening to other manufacturers say, oh, well, money's expensive, so nobody's building pools. Well, if money's expensive, then why are you raising prices? Right?
Look, Todd,
So
we as professionals, we had to fill forms out in the pool industry in order to get rebates back.
Yep.
I remember the days when I had to send stuff back to get $50 back or $100 back or whatever that we physically had to fill out and send out in order to get it. I get for sure when it comes down to like the end user or whatever it may be, but as us, as professionals, we weren't immune to it as well. We had to do that. And there was only one reason why you had to do that, right? And it was because they were banking that either you didn't do it, you didn't send it, and so that you wouldn't get it. They could have just done it instantly. So I wanted to clarify that.
And that's what we're doing, is being net. We're giving it
Net.
We're giving it instantly.
Yeah. Why did you guys choose that path? Because obviously, if everybody else is doing the programs, and it's easier to just kind of go, okay, well, let's just kind of do what everybody else is doing, and then we just kind of. So why go against the current?
Well, early on, with my experience I had with distribution and seeing some of the programs blow up in some of the manufacturers' face, because remember, I was in distribution when the .com hit, right? So we watched programs get out of control. And then the processing that it took to do that. And I noticed the processing while I was there that it took to do it. And it started to dawn on me, like, there's a price to this. And if there's a price to this, then you're paying for it as a pool professional. So we were at a size also, and I will say this, we were at a size at the time that we didn't have a team to process this stuff and keep track of it. So it kind of came together as a perfect storm. Olaf and I sat down and talked about whether to go the rebate route or whether to go the net route. And we know for certain that relative to what our product competes against, if you go with our product line, I don't know that there's any rebates out there that are large enough to even compete after rebate with our product line. I believe you are going to make more money at the end of the day with our product line. And we all know that those rebate programs, once you get that rebate money back at the end of the year, I believe Uncle Sam has his hand out in those too. So you get hit on it, both sides.
So can you repeat that again? Yeah, we don't say the Uncle Sam.
No, he
words.
doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Can you talk about that really quick again?
Legally.
Can you talk about that again?
Yes.
You said that if they use your net, right, they'll still be better off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's no secret. I mean, pool professionals know what other pool professionals pay for their pumps and filters and heaters and equipment. And we know, all us manufacturers, we know what it costs to build a filter. We know what it costs to build a pump. We all know it, right? And so we also all know the rebate programs. The people that get rebate programs are fairly open about it. They'll tell us what their rebate program is. And once you start doing the math at the end of the year, your net at the end of the year, you will come out on top with our product in the majority of the situations. And you get your money now, right? We're not waiting till the end of the year to fill out that form, collect our analytics, to send it in and get that rebate from that manufacturer.
I have an idea, but I'm not going to say. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you maybe while John is talking. I'll ask my idea and kind of throw it out, so I don't kind of throw it out there into the limelight. But I have an idea.
Got it.
Look, let's take it even a step further. I think you're selling yourself short a little bit here, Todd. You know, not only are you making money, you're saving money at the end, but let's talk about the reality of, you know, the types of products you're putting in and the benefits or the ROI you get because you're putting in a superior product. Not only is it less money and you get to put more money in your pocket, but a lot of times the product is far superior, right, than others on the market. And now you get to reap the benefits that come with using, and I'll put it out there. And I've said this from the very beginning when it came down to it. And I absolutely love the pipeline filter, right? And I've been an advocate from the very beginning. And I'm also a type of guy that says I don't peddle products unless I believe in them, right? And I don't care that you're our visionary partner, right? I don't care that you sponsor us. That's not the reason behind me saying this. And people who know me know that I speak only based off of my experience and what I can truly say, because I'm not just a bobblehead. I'm actually in the field and this affects my life. That's why I'm passionate about talking about these price increases and stuff like this. This is simply because it hits home to me and to my brothers and sisters and to all the people that believe in us and follow us with Pool Nation, right? This is an important thing. And the problem in our industry is that the masses don't have a unified voice, and that's where we kind of fill in. So let me get off my soapbox there. But the benefit that I like, for instance, like the filter I was getting at is, look, not only am I putting in a filter that is half the cost of what I get from another manufacturer, but this is the safest filter. It's the best performing filter, right? But not only that, now the amount of money that I've saved when it comes down to time, being able to service that filter and doing the filter cleans, because I don't clean them any less or any more. I clean them on schedule, right? I don't charge any less because it's a one cartridge. It still takes time. I don't have to go through as many tools as I needed to go through before. I don't have to worry about the danger. And now filter cleans go from 45 minutes in some cases down to, on average, about 15 minutes to clean a filter. Now I save 30 minutes every time I clean a filter. Now you multiply that by 200 plus pools, right? Or however you want to look at it. That time, I mean, that's a lot of money that we get to put into our pockets, right? And that's the difference. And you need to look at the whole picture. And you can go on and on when it comes down to different products and the effect that they have, not just on your pocketbook initially, because that shouldn't be your only determining factor when you're making your purchase. It's not a race to the bottom, and just because it's the cheapest pump or the cheapest filter, I'm putting it in. No, to me, it'd be worth it even if the filter was twice as much as what you're selling it at. It makes sense. Look, don't go increase. Don't you dare do it.
Todd just went, price increase.
No, don't you? But Todd, you're not stupid. You guys know that. You know what it's worth. But that's the type of stuff, you need to take into consideration. It's so much more than just that price that you get initially and what it does. So kudos to you guys on that. I think we kind of beat up price a little bit. I think we did a pretty good job on that. And I know you're running out on time. I want to jump into another very important piece of the puzzle when it comes down to service professional and manufacturer relationship, right? That I think it's kind of lost or not talked about as much, but a lot of grumbling happens. And that's warranty and service after the fact. So I think warranty has been a very hot topic. We've talked about multiple ways that AquaStar approaches things differently, and warranty is no different, right? You guys are approaching that a little bit different than some other manufacturers are. You guys are taking a completely different approach to it. Can you talk a little bit about it and why you feel this is the best way for AquaStar?
Yeah, warranty is another massive expense on a company. And in companies have to build into their pricing structure and take warranty into consideration. I've watched from the sidelines again, warranty play out with manufacturers in our industry. And I do not believe in the systems that we see today. And we took an approach to handle our warranty in-house. And what that does for us is a number of things. We know, because a lot of the companies in our industry have to report, so we know what's going on in those companies. And when we talk about whether it's warranty or advertising or whatever they're doing, they report. And the cost that it goes into setting up situations that we have now do not lend itself to bettering the product. So our first and foremost philosophy was, because everyone knows that we're napkin concept to finish, is we want warranty rates to move from X percentage. We'll throw out what we see in our industry on an average of 3 to 5%. And that's not acceptable for AquaStar. 3 to 5% is not acceptable, period. And it shouldn't be acceptable in our industry, period, because it's another black eye. Warranty is a black eye. When we send you something and it doesn't work, it frustrates you and it frustrates your homeowner, right? So for instance, the pipeline filter, we've made 60 plus changes on that filter since day one. Number of changes that you would never even know about it, but we did it because we wanted to eliminate warranty issues. And we've moved into a situation we are 0.4% warranty rate on our pipeline filter right now.
Wow.
That's
Point
huge.
4?
0.4%. That is massive for our industry. Massive, because we already know, I said the figure earlier, we know what average warranty rates are essentially in our industry. And now, if we're not handling those warranty calls and we're not going to the field and seeing what's failing on our product, then we can't report back to us as our manufacturer and our engineers. And if we can't report back what's failing, we can't fix it. We can go in our mind and understand what others do in this industry, and we're not reporting back. We're not making changes to make products better. We've moved to a situation now where our pump is under 2% warranty rate now. And we're not stopping until it gets under 1%. And we believe when we can deliver a pump and a filter, any equipment to the industry that performs at those rates, we win. You plug it in, you want it to work. And so employing others to go out and quote unquote fix the potential problems that are out there was not an option for us. So we've employed Brian Chrisan, our national technical sales director, to handle this. And they're also teaching opportunities when we go out. We run into a number of situations where, hey, your pump doesn't work. And you go out, a leg's kicked off. Well, it's a 220 pump. You need to have both legs on, right? We run into a number of situations. Well, your filter's pinned at 35 PSI. Okay. Well, we don't believe it's the filter that's doing it. So if you agree, we'll take the element and the core out, and you believe that's a straight piece of pipe and there's no loss of head there, we'll see if the PSI changes. Put the lid back on, core's out, PSI doesn't change. You have something downstream that's creating this pressure. It's also a teaching position for us, and we believe real easy. Like I said, we want to make products better. We want them to make them fail exponentially less than what you've currently been getting. And we want to empower you in a position to learn and to take care of your own products and do proper installations.
Well, the first time hearing those numbers, and that's very impressive, right? That is like
something we're proud of. Very proud.
Yeah, those numbers are astronomical when it comes down to success rate and warranty. That's bonkers. And especially for a new product that so innovative and was completely different and was built brand new from the floor up, right? Now, just like any product, there's always some issues, but like what you said, 60 different revisions so that you can make it better. I can't imagine, I don't think there's been more than like 5 revisions on some of the other filters over the past generation. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. But you brought another point I never even thought about before, Todd, and I think that's really cool, because I'll tell you, at first, I was a little skeptical with the warranty station thing, but I was very optimistic at the same time, if that's even possible, because I know who you guys are and I know what you believe in and the people behind it. And everything you've said, you've backed up with results, and you've done what you've said you're going to do before in the past, and I don't believe this is anything different. So having a no warranty station or a no warranty station model, how do you see that affecting you as AquaStar grows, right? I mean, it's easier when you're a smaller company, and you guys aren't small, but compared to billions and billions of dollars some of the other manufacturers do, you guys are growing and growing fast. But as you get to that point where you start to grow to those levels, do you still see this warranty model, no warranty model station still working? Or are you committed to this is how it's going to be and nothing's going to change?
Yeah, we'll never say never, but we're very happy with the way that we're running now. Brian added Ben to his team, who is helping him on the West Coast. He's now tasked with hiring someone on the East Coast. So we'll continue to grow that team. What homeowner wouldn't want the manufacturer in the yard if there's something wrong with their equipment? I would much rather, if something goes wrong with our pump, I think that they would rather have AquaStar show up than another service company show up.
And
right?
you made a great point. It's a teaching. You take advantage of the situation, and now you're able to actually help the pool pro that put it in, because you and I both know that the majority of issues that happen, and this isn't with AquaStar, it's with Pentair, with Jandy, with Hayward, with everybody. It's most of the time it falls under user error. It was installed incorrectly. It was for the wrong application, the wrong type of system, or whatever it may be, or some mistake happened, and it wasn't on purpose, right? But you take it as a coaching opportunity so that you can prevent that from happening in the future. And I'm pretty sure that leads to part of the reason why your warranty rates are so low, is because now that you teach them, next time they put it in, they're not making that mistake again. You're not getting that warranty call.
And you'll know this as well as everyone. If it's not legitimately a warranty call, it still costs the manufacturer money.
Yeah,
in the other
100%.
scenarios.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so,
for sure.
And so that's built into the price.
So look, I know you got a few more minutes, right? And you got to go.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, Edgar, if I've jumped all over this.
No, not at all.
We're good.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation.
You're good?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have something to say? I got my final question that I want to jump in. Do you want me to wait, or do you have something you want to say first, Edgar?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So
Yep.
we're going to go like this. Look. So we've pretty much covered a lot of different things, right? I want to end it with this, or at least on my portion, and I want to hear from you and everybody to listen to this. You said several times that AquaStar wants to be a true partner, right? With the pros, the guys and the gals on the floor, on ground level, pounding it out every single day, making it happen. And you've proven it with what you guys have done with the different ways you approach things. 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now, in a room full of professionals, if somebody were to be describing AquaStar, what would you hope that they would say about AquaStar? And what would you be disappointed if they didn't say about AquaStar?
I would want them to say that we are the best partner in the industry for them as far as manufacturers go. I'd want them to say that we're the best partner, and I hope that we would be perceived in 5 years as the Pros Pro brand. We are developing a robust brand for you on the pad that we want it to work every time it goes out there. And we don't plan for failed obsolescence, and we want it to continue to work for you and perform for you in a way that makes your job easier. And if it makes your job easier, it makes your homeowner happier. So we're really pushing to turn into that Pros Pro brand.
Perfect. All right, I'll shut up now.
Hey, a couple of different things on here. Let's see here. David was saying that Ben is a rock star. I do want to give a couple of shout outs out here before we call it a day so that we don't forget about everybody out there, because we've been chit-chatting away for a while. Hey, Sammy, big shout out to you. Big shout out, Jeremiah, JMR Pool Pros, Aqua Johns. Big shout out to you out there, Sammy. Lisa, Family Pool 360. Marlon is asking, is that AquaStar? Yes, that is Mr. Todd Pieri from AquaStar. Big shout out to Patty out there. Vic, shout out to you out there. DJW Pools, David Mina, Cali Pool Techs, Rod Carpenter. Big shout out to my boy Rod Carpenter out there. Aiden joined. Aiden, Todd and I were just talking about you today.
What's up,
while
Aiden?
we were having some lunch. So we got to connect because we got to kind of get you out here, but we'll talk about that. And then Hot Springs Pools, what's going on, brothers? Hey, your podcast is coming up here soon, buddy. Stay tuned. JSS Pools, what's up? AquaStar are the pros, is what he's saying. Classics Pool and Spa. Lenny, big shout out to you out there. And thank you so much, Patrick, for the kind words. So, John literally got 2 minutes. Give me some final thoughts, even though I know you kind of given me some final thoughts.
Look, I think I've given my final thoughts again. This is a very, I don't know.
I think we needed 30 more minutes.
We did need 30 more minutes,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we can handle 30 more minutes of me ranting here. But look, this subject I'm very passionate about, and I said it before. You know, we talk about this and not just to talk about it, right? This is literally the things that affect me, my family, my well-being, my children, right? My livelihood. And all I can say is this, and I truly mean this, you know, regardless of whether or not it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and we don't always get what we want. And sometimes what we believe really isn't it. You know, we have a misconception of what's going on behind the scenes. And I don't think there's really anything nefarious going on at the end of the day. I just think that everybody's trying to make money, right? And sometimes we forget about the people that make the money for us, when it comes down to, manufacturing and to the vendors out there and the stuff that we have to go through. The little guys sometimes don't have the voice. And I think we have a platform and we have a responsibility and a moral obligation as Pool Nation, to stand up to what we believe in, which means that the service professionals out there, have a voice. And these are the concerns not only from me, but from the thousands of people that we've spoken to over the years. And it's nice to know that there's a manufacturer. I'm not saying that you're the only one, but I can tell you that you have been extremely consistent when it comes down to having your ear on the ground, listening to us, right? And trying to make things a little bit better and doing things a little bit different. So Todd, I just want to really say thank you to you, Mandy, Brian, Omar, everybody, Ulaf, Tibor, everybody over there. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Keep fighting the good fight. It's nice to know that there's someone else in the battle with us out there. Looking forward to this year's event down there and what you guys have out in store. When is the variable speed blower coming out, by the way? Do we have a date on this?
Every day. We're getting closer every day.
Do we have I know you guys are cooking something else up too. You got anything else you want to spill some tea right now?
Not today.
Not today?
Not today.
But there is something though.
Sure.
There's always something.
There's always
talking
something.
about. There's always something about. Hey, Mr. Todd Pieri, I'm going to throw a curveball to you. Why don't you give us some final thoughts? You've been down here a couple times. Let's go.
Well,
we did catch him a little off guard.
I think John hit on something earlier that's very important, and it's about the filter was the point of making a product that functions properly for the professional and for the homeowner. And finally, we have a filter now that's going to allow you to run your variable speed pump the way you should be running your variable speed pump. So this is why we started the Run Your Freaking Pump campaign.
Hey, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
So again, it's a responsibility. It's the responsibility of manufacturers to provide products to the industry at a consistent level in a number of ways, whether it's failure rate, whether it's pricing, and continue to perpetuate that great customer experience. And when we talk about running your freaking pump, and you can do that properly with the pipeline filter because it only requires one turnover to clean your pool. Now we can run those pumps a lot longer and a lot slower. I think when you guys had Nidec on here, they were talking about permanent magnet motors, right?
Yeah.
They're happier when they're running. It's just like an airplane. It's happier when it's in the air. So run the dang pumps. We started this campaign because we'd run into a number of pool professionals that were, it set it at 3,400 and run it 8 hours. And then they turn around and they go, they need a cleaner because there's stuff in the bottom of the pool. Well, if you ran your pump, not going to be stuff in the bottom of the pool. So those are my final thoughts. We're going to continue to push the envelope, to innovate for this industry, and to give you guys products that hopefully make your life better and make you more money.
Absolutely. Hey, that video has pretty much 40,000 views already. That's kind of gone crazy out there. And so, yeah, absolutely. Run your freaking pump, people.
Run your
freaking pump. Hey, everybody.
You guys should have a flyer of that and put them in every single one of the pumps so that when we give the information over to the clients, stuff like that, here's straight from the manufacturer, run your freaking pump.
Run your freaking pump, baby. Run it.
Yeah.
So, hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining us live today. I know that the podcast was at a different time today, but we had a lot of people that were jumping on and kind of chit-chatting out there. New Vision Custom Pools, LLC is in the house. Big shout out to you, Mr. Corey Holland. I got your message with regards to the branch. Send me your information. I know you have my cell phone. Send me the specific branch information. We're going to take care of that for you, solve that problem for you. So anyways, hope that everybody has a great weekend out there. Catch me and John next Wednesday on the Instagram Live. What are we going to talk about, John?
I don't know.
You're going to answer those questions from June 3rd?
Oh, yeah. The quick fire questions, right? The rapid fire questions that we've yet to get through after
June
like
3rd?
3 months.
Oh,
June 3rd.
we've had some questions, some business questions from June 3rd that we haven't been able to get to. But hey, stay tuned. They're coming. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Mr. Spider, take us home, baby.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation Podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. Poolmanuniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at poolmanuniversity.com.